Hey guys, welcome back. All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a brushed metal effect on your shapes in Procreate. Now, this video was requested by Crystal in my Facebook group, so thank you for the video idea, Crystal. Let's go ahead and jump in. Now, I'm just using a plain canvas here, and we're going to draw just a random shape. Let's say a square. Oops, not with that brush though. Get the liner brush. And we got a square. If you hold, Procreate will straighten it for you. And then if you hit this edit shape, well, it doesn't think mine was square enough, so we'll make it a rectangle. There we go. So we've got a rectangle. And then I'm going to just drop the color to fill it in. So now we just have a boring plain shape. So I'm going to tap the layer, hit the select option. You can see it's highlighted because it changed color. And then I'm going to create a new layer, change my color to black, change my brush to the soft shading brush. Now this brush is the soft airbrush, which you can find in the airbrush panel down here, but I moved it to this folder so that I can find it because I use it all the time. So my opacity is at about 80%, and then you can mess with the size of the brush depending on what you're making, but I'm going to probably have it just below half, and then I'm just going to sweeping motion brush across. See, for me, oh, quick side note, if you push harder, it makes it bigger. You don't want a huge one. So I'm just doing lightly going across, and you don't want to fill the entire shape. Just do a couple of little strokes and then go to a new layer. Now, for the highlight, white will almost always work, but it doesn't always look the best. If your color, your base color is a dark color, then what I tend to do is take that base color, bring up the lightness so that you're working with a lighter version of that color, and it's going to look better. So I'm going to sweep this between the blacks, and I'm actually going to kind of make it a little bigger like that. And then that's going to give you that metal effect. And you can even do like some thinner lines like that. Now, the thing about making the metal look is as you're going, you're watching your process and you're seeing it kind of come to life, and you're like, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look right. Take a step back. Okay. If you come back away from it, you can see, oh yeah, I can kind of see where that looks, the way I want it to. Now, the reason that I did the shadow and the highlight on separate layers is because you can mess with the intensity of them a lot easier when they're separated. So right now I'm on the shadow layer, editing the opacity. I can lower that down so it looks lighter. The overall piece looks lighter. Or if I wanted it darker, just duplicate the layer. See? Super easy. Now let's put this to practice in a file that you guys might already have. So I'm going to go in here to my planner elements and to the planner rings. Okay, this is a download that I gave you guys quite a while ago. You can look in my website. It is also a download on my website. But okay, so we have just the white base here. So I'm going to color these rings, maybe this blue color. Now you can tell that this shape already has a highlight, this little round oval here. But if I select this layer, create a new one, make sure to clip it down, get my black, I'm on my shader, then I can even darken these up a bit. See? So it's giving it more contrast towards the edges. And I tend to go heavy-handed on the shadow. That's just a personal stylistic preference. Some people like them lighter, some people don't. It's totally up to you. So now I just selected white. In the last demonstration, I said create a new layer. In this one, I'm not going to just because I'm comfortable with this technique, but you might want to just to make sure that you can adjust it individually. So I'm going to come through and just tiny strokes. Tiny, tiny strokes. And you can even come in and do them individually like that. Okay. So let's say that we drew this little camera and we wanted to give it a little more metal effect with a metallic kind of look. So the first thing I would, the first thing I would
projects.
start with now would be the lens, which would be this dark gray part here. So
is this the
I
way
duplicated
that
this
everybody
into two
does it?
separate layers. I honestly don't know, because when it comes to creating art and developing techniques, I typically do a screw with it until it looks how I want it to approach, rather than a, well, how does so and so do it? Because I learn better by doing than by watching, I guess. So I think I just really negated my entire video by saying that. Okay, so we're back in our shape here. I'm going to go ahead and erase all this, and let's put this kind of into practice. So if I were to draw, say, I don't know, a camera. I'll speed through this so you guys don't have to sit through it. So I duplicated this into two separate layers before I filled in the color. That way I could edit the shapes without trying to accommodate for the color that is there. It's easier to select areas if they don't have color in them. So I'm going to go to my select tool. It's already set to automatic, and I'm going to select the lens. Then I'm going to create a layer between these two, change this to black, go to my shader, and then start sweeping. Same exact thing. And then I'm going to create a new layer, go to my highlight. This time I am going to use white because I want it to have like a really crisp highlight. Just like that. And then you can also come in here and go to this blur tool and kind of blur it out a little. Sometimes that can have a really cool effect. Just like that. And then if I'm doing something like this, like specifically a lens, I could even come in and add like a really hard highlight. Give me a sec. I did that on a new layer. Yeah. So I'm going to come in, do like a semi-circle. I want a fat highlight. There we go. And then you can edit that arc too. So it's kind of like that. And then I'm going to lower its opacity a little, so it gives it more of a shape. Like that. So there we go. Now we have like a little metallic looking lens on the camera. It's not a difficult technique, but it can be hard only because if you're so used to looking like pixel peeping, like this doesn't look like anything. But if you back up, then you're like, oh, okay, I see the effect that you were going for. So there you go, guys. That's how I make the little metallic brush effect in Procreate. That said, there probably are metallic brushes and things out there that you could buy. I haven't looked because, like I said, I'm a learn by doer. But there probably are things like that out there. But definitely give this technique a try because it really does work pretty darn good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.